sent?
Share it on the screen.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Let me see if I can. I wonder if I have it on my big screen above me. Do you
Okay.
think we
I mean, I
need
can
to?
pull it up on my phone and have it like, you know what I mean, side by side.
Yeah, I can tell you what I was thinking
Yeah.
with these, and then see what you're thinking, or you can tell me what you were thinking first. So,
No, go right ahead.
sorry, this has become such an ordeal. By the way, my email, I think sometimes is going to the WashU one still instead of that police
Oh,
community engagement board. So that was
okay.
one reason for a delay on this for me as well.
I
When
was wondering about
sometimes,
that for Cindy because like it seemed like I didn't know if Cindy had not received some of the earlier emails.
yeah, and I
You know,
couldn't remember if she was the one that was supposed to be on this subcommittee or was she on the other one? And I thought she said this one.
right. I think so too.
Yeah. Um, my feeling is this doesn't have to be a work of art or genius.
Right.
So
I
I
feel the
just
same
think
way.
I just feel we just need to get out there, introduce ourselves, and that's all this is meant to be.
I agree with that. That it's really and just um yeah, and let people know who we are and then we're gonna get feedback and then we're gonna do everything based on that.
Yeah, I think we can improve it as we go.
Right.
Rather than, it seems like we're making a habit of looking for this perfect presentation, but never presenting. So I
Right.
really want to get it out to the community and
I
have them
know.
tell us what they think.
Right. Right. And I don't really even think the presentation has much, I mean, I don't know. Like I think we can just say like this is who we are. Here's our survey.
Right.
And and then we could facilitate a discussion based on because Cindy's survey where you could actually get the results
Oh, I
right.
liked that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that looked great. So I hope we can just double down on that as soon as possible. Because what I'd like to do is just quickly decide this is fine and just start setting stuff up and get going.
Right. So
Because
could
I
we
think,
even just say to our initial like folks, like I think the Alliance is probably who we're going to go back to first in
sure.
November.
Yeah, and
Um,
that worked well.
right.
And
So we can say, you guys know who we are.
yeah,
Here's what we've been doing. Here is the survey. So this is going to go out to the community. You're like our,
mhm.
oh God, what's the word? You're like
Pilot,
our focus group in a way, or you're our
focus
pilot.
group.
You're
Yeah,
right, right. You're
focus
like our
group. Right,
pilot or our focus group, and we would love to hear your feedback on this,
right.
both as a tool and also like what does it bring up for you, and what else do you think is out there in the community that we are going to need to hear or that might come up that we're missing.
Yeah, and I'm also curious. I feel like our whole point is to listen and to bring that message that they have back to the police department and vice versa. So maybe any ideas they have on how to foster that two-way communication,
Right.
that's positive rather than just
And they're going to be more
complaint
thoughtful
sessions.
about it, probably, I think, than anybody else because this is their wheelhouse. Like when we
Right.
go to whatever the like Old Orchard Business Group, they're not thinking about this
No.
all the time.
Yeah,
So,
they need to, but yeah,
right,
you're right. So
right.
we all
So
need to.
the Alliance is going to be a really thoughtful group.
Well, and I think the student group too. That's why I was pushing to do the university because I do know that there have been some concerns at times, and I think we want to make sure they have a forum to voice those concerns, and they feel like it gets back to the police department channeled through the community. Don't
Yes,
you think?
yes, I agree. And the students have a more current
Right.
all this, right?
Yeah, we're going to hear what they mean by defund the police or reinvest in different social measures instead of on policing as we've known it. So yeah, I really want to get that message from them so I can understand, and then we can talk to the police department about it and go back and forth. So that's part of I on the slides I gave you. I there's color coding that's orange and black just homage to Webster, but anyway, there's some oranges in there. But
Right.
anyway,
So the ones that I'm seeing, it starts out with like agenda. Is that what?
that'd be slide 2. So yeah, the first one says police. Now there's a hyphen I put there. What do you think of that? Police dash community engagement board, because it's not, because otherwise it sounds like it's the police departments.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, that this is the
Right.
police
That this is like a
hyphen
co-ownership.
community. Yes, there's two
Right.
things. Not this is the police's.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So, and I think we can even point that out, and make it a two-way arrow kind of thing. So,
I like that. And I like that the agenda is simple, 3 things. That's
yeah,
it. That-
right. Well,
Right.
and maybe, yeah, number 3 is the most important, and if you think of a different way to word it, hear what they have to say.
Right. I mean, I like that because I will say this. I've heard this word like listening. I think at one point Mayor Walsh was like, we're doing like a listening tour or something. And I do think that sometimes when it's too political of language, people start rolling their eyes like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
God, it's just some kind of, BS that they're doing. So I think straightforward, that's what we want to do. We want to gain community input. Exactly.
Right. Good.
We don't have an agenda, like we don't have to have your support. We would just want to know objectively what are your thoughts and observations and feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want them to help us decide what our schedule should be and be appropriate within reason. We're all busy people, but
Right.
within reason, what would be the regularity that we'd be having discussion. I think with the first group you mentioned, of course, they deserve probably a couple times a year at least, right? Because maybe we can leverage them to help, assist in their own way, I guess, to
And just,
spread the word.
I will say that like, I think that was a pretty, that was a group that had steady but stagnant participation for a long time. Like it was just the same kind of group of maybe 20 people who did everything. But now I think that it is growing. I think there is momentum. There's
Okay.
also a new group called maybe the Shrewsbury, something about Shrewsbury, but I guess we're not in Shrewsbury, so we can't do it. So anyway, forget that. But there are a lot of groups that are now taking on this mantle of like equity and police, like sort of watching how our citizens of color are treated in our area. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I think there is a lot of interest in it, and that's why I so much just want to get on with this.
Right. I know it's frustrating. It is frustrating.
Yeah.
The slow.
Well, and I think, the virus was one thing, but I think we can, we got to just get at it. So,
right. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah. So I keep the hyphen all the way through the whole thing there, as you saw. Kept the same, it's the same mission statement, same charge. I mean, I don't know what more to say. I think that's to introduce it. This is who we are, why we're here.
Right.
Focusing on listening, not
right.
Not telling them what we think. Orange and black.
So I do wonder, so the first agenda item is review survey results with Webster University.
Yeah, we should move that probably.
Well,
where should it go?
I don't know. Here's my question. Because of Cindy's changes, can we administer or let them have the opportunity to take the survey live, even if it's on their phones?
Maybe we could try that at the main group that you're mentioning.
Yeah.
And then, but the Webster University, I bet I'm going to have to submit the survey. I have to submit it to the president or whatever. They said I have to submit it to be approved.
Okay.
So I don't know on that. So I hope to get that out to them immediately within a week or two, get this out to them and just say, can you approve it? And maybe we could try out Cindy's framework with the Alliance.
Okay.
Don't you think?
I like that. I do. So when you actually or when this presentation goes to the Webster University student groups, they will have already taken the survey. And so then you just share the group results with
Right.
them.
That would be a thought, but I was going to ask the opinion once we get the finalized survey, because that's what I was asked to do, get the finalized survey, present it to them so it could be approved. And then I'll ask their opinion. How do they think it would work best? And maybe at the university like ours, sometimes they have a format that just flows right in, that's built in,
Right.
where they're
Okay.
voting on, because that's the coolest thing, that I've been to in conferences where you see the
Live.
results live and they're changing live as you're
Right.
talking.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you're changing opinion, and then live at the end of the thing you get to see how you moved perceptions, or the discussion moved them into different answers.
Well,
And
right. So
powerful.
I think a question or an added then slide maybe is something like, based on the results that you see or that you now know,
Yeah.
what additional questions does this bring to mind for you, or what additional thoughts and needs are you observing based on what we're now seeing with the results?
Yeah, absolutely. That'd probably be you're thinking at the end, or
Mm-hmm. Right.
yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
and then with almost like an additional way to, like, because I know I'm kind of somebody who processes things later.
Yeah.
So if you have additional thoughts,
How do they get them to us?
right, here's who you contact and here's how to follow up.
How do you think that is? I mean, I'm every time we bring this up, it becomes this sunshine law course.
I know. I made a couple mistakes too, where I think I said to somebody online, I said, well, here's my police community engagement board email. You can email me directly.
Yeah.
And then I felt like that was like, no, not really.
Right.
But then that kind of aggravates me at the same time, because if yeah.
I agree. I'm conflicted as well, because I feel bad that we're not engaging those groups that are actually the
Right.
hottest
And why
areas.
shouldn't somebody say, I watched that, I watched that board meeting, and I feel like I would feel open to talk with Dr. Gresh, but I wouldn't feel so open to talk with Mayor Welch. So I want to direct my email to Dr. Gresh. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah. And
yeah,
I think there's worry too about overloading any one of us.
right. I agree.
Um,
I doubt so much that it would get to an overload.
Although that was what I was hoping, that we could reposit in a place somehow where our main website has a place where they could just put those things and we could just review them.
Right.
And if there's just like they do on, I don't know, on different shows, here's the most, frequently asked question.
Right.
Top 10, this came up 500 times, and we can click through it real fast.
Right.
And tally it in our
Would be an
heads.
easy thing to do, I think, on the website.
Yeah, just to reposit those kind of follow-up questions after it, and encourage it, and have a place where they say, after the meeting, we want you to, any thoughts you guys have, we want you to bring them forward to us there. We'll discuss
Right.
them at the next meeting. And then the key is to give them follow-up at some point. Because the most aggravating thing is to feel like they're saying something.
It's
We
going
say, oh, we receive it, but what did we do?
Right. I know. The other thing that, like, I wish, so this is more like a dream, and I don't know if, but like, I think that we're really reflective of the community, because, like Kevin at one point said to me, I think he's even said this in meetings, something like, I am not racist, and I didn't even know there was systemic racism. So he's like at a different point than
Right,
somebody who went to social work school.
right, absolutely.
And
Yeah,
so I do think that part of our slow pace is that we're trying to get everybody, it's like we're a reflection of the community, and we're trying to bring along everybody, and our leader is not somebody who's like immersed in that,
right,
and that's not bad. It's just,
no,
it
it's
is
not a bad statement. I mean,
right.
it's it's that implicit bias and all those things that's
Right.
that we all need to be on guard for and we need to learn about. And I actually am taking an active interest in learning it, and maybe that's something also we can bring and share. You know, there's a couple books I'm really inspired to read. New Jim Crow and How to Be an Anti-Racist are two books that I really need to dig into a little bit for my job and also for this. So
Right.
maybe we
So
should
that I wish
have a
that we
book
could be more,
discussion.
I think it would be cool, but it's a risk to be more transparent with the community. Like, hey, we're a reflection of you. So like, while there are people in our community that are like steeped in social activism and are getting arrested at, you know, like
Right.
protests, there are also people in our community that like have never even heard of systemic racism or are just learning about it, and that's who we are too. So all of us are working together. I wish there was a way to be more transparent about
Right.
that.
Well, I think that's why it's important that we have our meeting to say what we're saying right now to
Right.
everybody. So I think, don't you think? And I
Yeah.
think the more we discuss it, that's why I want to move away. We're spending too much time on this survey, I think.
I agree. It's just a tool. It's really
It
just a
was just a
tool. Like
tool.
this is not, yeah,
This
yeah,
was supposed to be, you know, the first couple meetings, not 2 years of meetings.
I know. And I
Anyway,
think it gets confusing. You know, people and you know are intimidated by the power dynamics. Like,
yeah,
you know, like we have the mayor and the chief of police. Like those are powerful people in our
right.
community. And then like if you have a perception of like, oh, I don't think they like that, or I don't want to feel like I'm disagreeing with them, that's a hard part too.
Yeah. Well, it is. Yeah. So I think though, hopefully now we as a board are all comfortable with one another that
Hope
we could
so.
start to have that discussion, and we could say that maybe when we present to them, say that's part of what held us up. We had to figure
Right.
out what is this? What should we be doing? How do we bring about all these different characters with different walks of life together, which
Right.
is, like you said, representative of the community and
Right.
the different places each of our thoughts are
Right.
on the current events. So
Right. And the biggest thing probably if we have to say like, has it really been 2 years? Have we been, are we, how far are we in? A year and a
almost,
half?
we're finishing 2 years, I think.
Oh God.
So,
But a
well,
lot of
half
it
the
is
year was blown up. So
right. That's true. And then another half a year at least was like trust building, like
right,
getting to know each other and like, where is everybody coming from? And is this a safe place to have an opinion? You
and
know?
some data gathering. I think we could say that's true. The
Mm-hmm.
that's where that police academy too, and different
Right.
activities, and just talking to one another about it. That was part of it. Just learning what is
Right.
their training. So I
Right.
think there's some legitimacy to taking some of the time. It's just we
Right.
better now we got to get moving. So,
Like, okay.
so yeah. So what do you think? Last slide, you said additional
Like if
comments
you're,
or
yeah, like if you walk away from this and you think of something as so many of us
right.
do later, here's where you go to
You know where
give
that
that
is?
a, no, we don't know yet. So um, but right now, should we just come up with something like for the time being, like here's Kevin's email or here's,
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. I'm fine with it.
when is
Obviously,
your
people have been
meeting?
emailing, mainly Kevin. I think that they ought to probably send it. Maybe they should send it to all of us.
Right?
And then,
Or for them to know that if they send it to Kevin, that Kevin will, and I don't know
forward
if
it to
it's true,
all
but
of us.
he will forward it. So they're not having to do so much work on their end.
Right. That's why, yeah, if it just went to the main email, I wish there was just an email group and it just went to all of us. We could
Yeah.
quickly between, and that could be what we tell them. We're going to
There's got to be
review.
a way to do that.
Yeah, we're going to review it. Now, was there some kind of sunshine law situation with that?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think if we receive information, it's almost like HIPAA. You can receive information from anywhere as long as they don't share anything about.
Right,
details of an investigation. I can't share anything about your personal health history, but I can receive information.
right. I think that's right.
So I think if we just treat it that way,
Okay.
taking both of our world view.
They'll correct it if we're wrong.
Yes, they will.
Yeah. Um,
Um, and then the only other thing I had, on that one where it has the members, adding resident. If people are residents, they just had some people where they were listed, like Cindy's listed as resident, but many of us are residents of the city.
I know.
So I thought, you're there because, yeah, you're fulfilling this or that role. You're in licensed clinical social worker and you're a resident. So I think I want them to, that's important for them to know.
Well, I think, is this right? The only person who's not a resident is Eric?
I think that might be true. And I think that should be clear though. And that's
Right.
fine. And I don't want it to be a negative on Eric at all or
No.
anyone. But I just think it was just an idea
Yeah, I think it's good. I actually do think it's good.
that we do live here. We're not some outside consulting group.
Right, right, for sure.
Yeah, that's the,
The only other thing
yeah.
is, would there, besides Kevin being the chair,
Hmm.
should we do is everybody in alphabetical order? Maybe we should just do alphabetical order so it doesn't imply any kind of rank. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think that makes the most sense. Just do it alphabetical.
Right,
And maybe Kevin is the chair on top,
right,
and then the rest of us alphabetical below.
right.
I guess I'll leave the doctor on there. When I'm around Webster, I don't like to be called doctor.
I don't really care either. But as far as being a licensed clinical social worker, but people like that. Like, I always think like it would be fun to be a doctor because people like it automatically like gives people a sense of like trust and
Well,
hopefully.
hopefully.
Yeah. Like he really, do like Chief Curtis always calls you doc. That's
Yeah, I know.
I love it.
It's like, but usually around town, all the kids in the neighborhood, I'm just Scott or Mr.
Yeah.
Professional or something.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, I'll leave it on there because that's the role I was put in for.
Right.
So anyway, so yeah, I think alphabetical.
Right. Okay. Did you ever watch Northern Exposure? Did you ever watch it?
Yeah, a long time ago.
See, that's like a good doctor. Like you're like the town doctor.
Yeah, right. Well, that's the best part. It really is. It is the best part.
Yeah.
Is this St. Louis and the community is small enough you can feel that way.
Right.
Is
Well,
amazing.
Webster, really. Right.
Yeah, I'm sure you
Can't
feel
even
that.
go to the grocery store. No,
Yeah.
I get at least once a week somebody texting me or emailing me on Facebook, so and so got diagnosed with cancer in my family, or we're grieving. And it's just some Webster person. They don't want me to be a therapist. They just want some kind of
Right.
help,
Well, yeah. Well, and that's what I was telling my mother today. I said, don't mean to gripe. At the end of the day, you're helping people. You just got to step back and say, as long as you're doing your best to help people, that's all you need.
Yeah.
So
That's what your mom said?
no, that's what I said to her.
Oh.
I was saying, I didn't mean to gripe because I said,
yeah.
I always
So you
do
have to
step back.
remember, yeah.
Yeah, that at the end of the day, I just say, step back, take a minute and say, wow, I helped some people today.
Right.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hopefully more than I didn't help.
Right. I know. Hey, I had a question for you. So you have already re-upped for the next term. How did you do that? Because I haven't done it.
It was coming due, and they will reach out to you when yours comes due.
Okay. All right.
I really hope you can do it. I know you're very busy. It's just, I think
I would like to continue. I'm not super involved at my church anymore, so I've taken kind of stuff back there. So I don't really do that much. So I would like to continue.
Yeah, because I think your voice is probably the most important right
I
now.
don't know
Not to
about that.
put pressure on you, but I think
I'm an aggravating, I feel like I aggravate Mayor Welch sometimes.
no, 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 no. If you do, then then keep doing it because
Okay,
that's what we need to hear.
all right.
So no, yours is the most important perspective. Seriously.
Well, I mean, this, the pandemic has been crazy for people's mental
Yeah.
health. Like it's been
Oh, I know.
so,
It has.
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I
there's a
can't,
lot of
I
people.
remember I was on, we changed our spring break plans. We were supposed to go to Mexico and I was like, I don't think going to Mexico at the beginning of we didn't
Right.
know, but I was like, this seems not a good idea. Um, so we went to like a cabin, in
Yeah.
Branson. And I was like, am I even going to have a job when I come back? At the very beginning,
Right.
like you just didn't know what was going to
Yeah, we
happen.
didn't know what was going on.
And I was like, I couldn't be busier. I couldn't be
Oh, I
busier.
know. I believe you. You are very busy. I'm very busy. We're probably all
Yeah,
busy in our own ways.
right.
Um, yeah, more than ever. And a lot of people are struggling,
I know.
and it comes out more and more every day.
I know.
It's it definitely
Oh, now
we're in
your
need.
kids are college age, right?
Yeah.
And so how are they at school? Are they taking classes from home? Are they
Oh, well, the oldest is he's graduated 3 years ago, so he's already working in
okay?
Chicago.
He's an
Yeah,
adult. Yeah.
yeah, he's full adult. He just got engaged actually, and then
Oh,
yeah, and then
fun.
the next one is a senior plus in a way. He should have been
Okay.
done, but
Okay.
I gave him a COVID pass, so
Right.
a little extra bonus semester, get it together.
Yeah.
So that's another example of COVID and what it can do. But yeah, he's actually running COVID samples for University of Illinois back and forth.
Wow.
They're doing 18,000 samples a day, so that's his side job instead of working at the coffee shop. And then he's
Right.
taking classes at home and school because he can
Okay.
test himself with his saliva test. So it's pretty wild. So he's kind of both. And then my
Right.
daughter, who's in combined music and also liberal arts with German and all this, she is a junior. She's half and half, but she's not allowed to be seen on campus because she's supposedly off. She applied to be off campus. It's a long story, but
Okay,
so if
where
she
does she
sets
go to
foot,
school?
Eastman School of Music. It's Rochester, New York. So
Yeah. So she's in New York.
she's in New
She is
York.
in New York. Yeah.
Yeah. So wild times.
It
Yeah,
is
but
great.
I think it's way easier for me than if you have what you have going on.
No, 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 no. I always say, so I live on Tuxedo and I have my block has a ton of elementary and young kids.
Yeah.
And those parents are like, I
Oh,
have
they're
high school
really
kids.
strong. Yeah,
Mine are
yours are
independent. Mine are
self-starter.
motivated
Yeah,
in school.
teenagers.
No,
Yeah,
if you have like a first grader or a third grader, I
too
just think
much.
this is so much, right? So, yeah,
Yeah, and that's the that's another part, another piece of what's taken us so long. Because I think we ought to ask. I want them to ask us what's taking us so long.
right,
I think they
right.
should. And
I do,
I think we have some good answers there.
right,
You brought
right.
up
But
a
there's,
brilliant one, which is, yeah, we are representative of the community and people are in different places in their understanding of this problem that we're all learning about.
right.
We are all learning about it, even people that feel they are on the cutting edge.
I agree. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
All
yeah, did you
right.
have any other edits or thoughts?
Those are my only thoughts as we just went through. It was just, making sure that I guess that we said kind of depends on who we're talking to, what order that agenda is.
Right.
Um, and then
Well, and to be honest, you could put up the slide and say, we're going to do number three, number one, it doesn't matter.
exactly. They don't care.
They
Nobody
don't
cares
care.
if you go
I mean,
to,
when I teach, I do it all the time.
right.
It's like, this
Yes.
says that, but I'm going to flip it around.
Right. So really the main thing we want to get to, if nothing else, is we just want to gain your input.
Yeah,
And this is who we are. This is the process that we've been through. And this is how we're going to get that input. And then, if questions come up as you see what your group's results are, ask them, or if you think about it later, here's how you get those questions or thoughts to us.
Yeah, easy as that.
Right,
So I think we both approve it. And as the members of the board,
right.
the
I
special
second.
work session, it is,
Okay,
we'll
all
make a
right.
motion together that it's approved.
It's approved. Okay,
Yeah. And I don't think we have any listeners right now, so we're good on that.
okay.
Yeah. But, and then the slides, I mean, the survey, is that supposed to get approved this week also,
I
or?
think so. I think so.
Okay. Well, if you want, I could just put a slide in there, in the same, did you like the format? I mean, is
Yeah,
this
I think
pretty
it's
much the
good.
same? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we can go from there.
I love it.
Actually, I just saw in the
Thank you.
members, there's lots of, there's that little blue with all the bubbles, thought bubbles.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be the graphic for the questions or follow-ups or something. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Are you doing that? Are you moving that stuff around?
Yeah,
you
we
give
can
to
move it
Katie?
around. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
maybe move
Thank
that to the other.
you.
Yeah.
All right. So then do we meet in 2 weeks as a group?
Good question. Yeah, because I really hope to have it pinned down even before we meet. Do you think I'm willing to go? I'm in town pretty much the whole time. I'm willing, since I went to the Alliance, I can go back and be like a backup person on that too.
I think it's mid-November, so it's really, I mean, it's soon, so,
Yeah.
okay.
So let me see here. Gotta get through my different meetings going on. I know we put it down, didn't we?
Yes, we did, but I don't have my paper calendar. It's upstairs, so I'd have to.
Yeah, sorry, I don't see it either. I'll try and figure it out. I'll make sure once I find it, I'll shoot it to you. And if I don't, oh, it says, no, that was September. Yeah, I don't see it in October.
Maybe I can't imagine. I was gonna think it was the 23rd or something like that, but
Let me look at my phone.
oh wait, yeah, maybe we have it on our.
But it should have exported to my computer. Let me see here. It wouldn't have been the 23rd. That's a Friday. We wouldn't do it on a Friday, would we?
No. Right.
Some reason I thought it was on a Wednesday. We moved it from.
You're right.
I better get. I'll shoot Kevin an email just to clarify that.
Okay.
Maybe check in and see where are we on finalizing the survey, because I'd like to do it to the university immediately.
Right. And do you know when they're meeting, or like when would you?
And I can ask him that too.
Okay.
So I'll just ask him that. I'll ask him when is, and I'll copy you. Is that all right?
Okay, that's good. Yep.
Yeah. And I guess Jeff and Cindy. So we'll say we met. I could forward this once I have the extra slide. Say we thought that we should just go with this, just to get going.
Right. And that you, I mean, I know that not everybody is, but I think that you probably have to present a lot. I presented, a fair amount. So I don't feel nervous about having it perfect. It's okay with me to just kind of wing it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'd rather it not be some plastic, perfect little presentation. I think they want it to be genuine.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
I don't want to read from a script.
Oh, no, I know. That's the recipe for disaster.
Yeah, no, it's like we care, and that's why we're here.
Right. Yeah. Like the human connection piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need to read from a script. And that's why the slide don't have to be all that much.
I agree. Okay. We're on the same page. On the same page.
Excellent. Thank you, Katie.
Okay. Thanks, Scott. Okay. I'll see you soon. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.